Yo, what's going on guys, it is Tom and welcome back to a brand new video, and this is episode number 18 of my F1 2015 Full House series, and we are here for the Brazilian Grand Prix, the penultimate round of the calendar, and this is the race where we could possibly wrap up the World Drivers' Championship. So if we're going to get the job done, we're going to need to win the race, and I hope that Lewis does not finish anywhere near second place, and that actually might be enough. I'm not exactly sure what the permutations are, because the championship will be unlikely. I'm going to need Lewis to finish, I think like 5th or lower. It's going to be quite tricky, but it's definitely possible if Lewis has a bit of a pole race, which, you know, has happened before this season. So, you know, it could happen this race, fingers crossed. Ideally, I wouldn't mind it happening in Abu Dhabi myself, but it could happen today. And nevertheless, we're going to gear up to the 5 red lights, and the Brazilian Grand Prix is underway. You straight away putting up into the front brake bias, which is what I like with this game. And we're now going to make our way into the first couple of corners here, into the center S. Just going to dive it up the inside of both of the Manners here, taking it nice and easily up the inside of turn number 1, and now around the outside of Merritt at turn 2. Can we make it stick? Yes, we do. Nice little move there around the outside, and now this is when the race begins, because we've got past the 2 Manners, and now is when we're going to try and overtake most of the tricky AI cars around here, which is a very tricky track to overtake actually. You know, you really need to be very good on the brakes and be very opportunistic with your overtakes, and that actually rhymed, didn't mean to do that, but moving on, here we are on the back of Alonso now, so we make our way up the hill for the first time in this race into this right hand, and can we possibly line up some sort of move here? We're going to wait a minute and then literally just step on the power, and we've got the inside of 3 cars here into this right hander, so just keeping it nice and cool, and I waited until the perfect second and I just floored it, and then we just went up the inside of 3 cars, so a fantastic move there from me. And we're now trying to negotiate Jensen Button, and we're going to try to switch back to the inside, but Button goes defensive, and some good defensive driving there from Jensen Button, who read exactly what I was going to do. The experience there from JB paying off, and we've got a Sauber coming back up inside there, but we're going to fend him off, no problems around the outside. And yeah, like I was saying, JB, some really good defensive driving from him there. You know, I was going to try and go for a little switch back up the inside, but he went defensive really early and read it really well, so no way through for there. But we're now going to go around the outside of Jensen Button here on just look at the power of the engine, of the Ferrari engine, just so much more powerful than the McLaren, and I just breezed past him around the outside, and we're miles ahead of him before turn 1, and moving later on lap 2, as you can see, we're on the back of Carlos Sainz now, and you see that Max Verstappen. I'm just going to put for a nice little switch back here up the inside of Carlos Sainz and make the move up the inside there. Lovely little textbook stuff, but Sainz actually gets a really good exit here, but I'm having none of it, to hang it around the outside, and this should be the move done and dusted. Just about 4P14, and Sainz still on my outside there, but I'm just going to squeeze him out and take the inside racing line, and that is the move done. And we're now on the back of his teammate Max Verstappen, who is now Red Bull in real life in 2016, which is unbelievable. But here we go around the outside of Dutch driver, and can we pull off the move? Yes, we do. Nice and easy there around the outside, and now we are on the back of Nico Hulkenberg as we go around the outside of turn number 5, or not, turn 6 I believe, into turn number 7. We're going to try and have a look up the inside of Grosjean, and no, we can't make the move there, so Grosjean just about holds out for now, but we're going to try and pick him off later on in the lap. Now going out the final corner up the hill, and can we possibly line him up for a move here with a little bit of DRS? That would be pretty nice. And here we go, then get right into the slipstream of the Frenchman. We're going to pull to the outside, I think. Are we going to go to the outside? No, we don't. We will go to the inside. We wait for it. We go to the inside, up the inside of Grosjean here, and can we overtake the Sauber as well? Yes, we do. Up the inside of Felipe Nasr as well, and a double overtake there on those 2 cars, and we're now right on the back of Pastor Maldonado through turn 3. Look at that, right on his gearbox there, and we open up the DRS and we put alongside him, and this should be an easy move on the Venezuelan driver. And so far, making my way through this field quite nicely this race, and really just literally cutting through him like a hot knife through butter. So the really good start to this race so far, and we're already into the points, which is crucial for us, and we're only 4 laps in, so really good stuff. And we're now on the back of Sergio Perez, and this could be P8 on the cards here if we put off the move. So here we go up the hill once again, wait for the DRS to become available right about now. There, that line right there is where the DRS comes available. We're going to pull to the inside, and this should be an easy move on Checo Perez, and also the fastest lap of the race. So right now we are really on the pace, so we are really flying around into August, and this Ferrari is really hooked up, and it is working an absolute treat. And the very next lap we set another fastest lap of the race, so just reaffirming my point that we've got the car nicely hooked up around here, and we've got some decent paces. We're now quite up to the back of Danny Kvyat on the end of lap 6 onto lap 7, and he's got DRS, I've got DRS as well, as we set a 3rd fastest lap in a row, and we're now going to go up the inside of the Russian, and it's a nice easy move there for P number 7, and we're now on the back of Ricardo, and there's a little bit of a train here, I think being led by one of the Mercedes or the Ferraris. I'm not sure who it is, but speaking of Ferrari, I think we've got a Vettel in the pit lane there. Meanwhile, we're going to try and go up the side of Daniel Ricciardo here at turn number 1, Can we make the move stick here? Side by side action. Ricciardo gets the better of us there, but we're going to put off a lovely little switch back here, and we're going to have the outside line for turn number 2. And can we make it around the outside? Ricciardo gives us a good old squeeze there onto the curb. Side by side stuff here, neck and neck into turn number 4. Who's going to break the latest? It looks like Ricciardo there's got the upper hand, but once again, I'm going to go for the switch back here. Can I make just stick my nose in? No, I can't, but Ricciardo just gives me a little bit of space there, but no room through there for now. But Ricciardo really pushing the limits here with the defensive driving, just about give me enough room. And we're going to go for the dive now up the inside of turn number 7 here. Fantastic dive up the inside, and Ricciardo though is still not having none of it, and he's right there on my inside as we now go around the outside. And there's contact, there's been contact, and we're in the wall. So Ricciardo has actually spun me out. I think I honestly feel Ricciardo there spun me out. I was around the outside and I couldn't have gone any wider, otherwise I would have been on the grass. So Ricciardo there just swung out really wide, and I get a 5-second time penalty as well. So that is going to be a massive game changer this race. No front wing at the moment, just trying to crawl back to the pits, and a 5-second time penalty. And looking at the replay here, you can see Ricciardo just swings out wide. We lock tyres and we both go round, and then Kvyat crashes into his teammate there. So and very unfortunate just the circumstances there, but let me know in the comments down below, guys, whose fault you thought I was. I personally thought Ricciardo there just swung out way too wide and he just called me. I couldn't have gone it anywhere else because I was already on the outside anyway. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below. But literally we crawl back to the pit lane now on lap 8, and we're going to come in for a set of tyres, and lucky enough I wasn't too far off my scheduled pit stop lap anyway, so we should be okay to stay on course with our original strategy as we now get a front wing change. And this is going to be a very long pit stop here actually. I think it's going to be quite long. Let's see how long it is. It's 8.9 pretty much, so a very long pit stop here. And look how far down we're dropping in the order. We're down to P17 now, P18. Jesus Christ, we are so far down. Look how far down we are. All that hard work we did in the first stint has literally gone to rat shit, as we're now all the way down in P18, and we've only got the 2 Manos behind us. So a very poor crash, and it's cost us a lot of time here, so that is going to really hurt us. So we have to start making progress instantly now. And on lap 9, as you can see later on the lap, we are now going to overtake Maldonado straight away around the outside here. Easy move, and we're picking off one by one, and this time we need to go really fast. I got the engine turned up to rich mix to the full, so we can push 100%, 110% should I say, sorry. And we're going to give it the full beans now and really push as hard as we can to recover these positions, as we now pass Fernando Alonso also around the outside way before turn number 1. And now we've got a little train of cars here. If we can pick all these cars off, we will be back into the point scoring positions, which is crucial. So here we go then, on the back of Verstappen now, and we just got to wait for the DRS to become available now, as now it opens up right there, and we're just going to get a much better run up the inside of Verstappen. Even though Verstappen has got the slipstream from Ericsson, we're going to make the move anyway, because the Ferrari power in this engine is just insane around here, and it's really working on an absolute treat. So right now we've passed Verstappen up in the P13, and we're now on the back of Marcus Ericsson, and we just got to wait for the move here. We're going to go to the outside and swing back to the inside once again, little square at the throttle, and then go up the inside of the Swedish driver there. Textbook stuff up the inside, one of my favourite moves to make around this racetrack. And we're now on the back of his teammate Felipe Nasr here, and can we possibly line a move here up the inside? We're going to have a little look around the outside, but there's no room there, so we just got to wait. We're going to pull off a lovely little switch back here and pull off and just have some incredible traction actually out of the right hander there, just something that I've never really done before, but I just got some insane traction on the fresh softs, and that really did pay off there, as I made a lovely move on Nasr there. Also very nice move, so I'm very pleased with both of those moves on the Saubers. And we're now on the back of Carlos Sainz here, and can we possibly line him up for a move? We're going to go to the inside rather last second, make the call to go to the inside, and we make a lovely move up the inside of him there. And we're now on the back of Roman Grosjean, and we're back into the points, which is good for us. So once we pass Grosjean, we should be some clean air, and we should be able to really push and set some decent lap times, as we're now going to pull off a move on Grosjean here, putting off a lovely little switchback. Once again, DRS wide open, and this will be an easy move way before turn number 4, and that is that. And we've passed all of those cars in about the space of a lap, so some very good overtaking there, not wasting any time, and just some really crucial moves done there. And we're now allowed to push, and a couple laps later we catch up to the back of Nico Hulkenberg, who's in P8. There's a yellow flag now, so let's see what's happening. There's been a crash here. That's Ricciardo there, and there's another car just ahead. I think it's Maldonado. So Ricciardo and Maldonado have come to blows, and that's been a huge crash there. And Ricciardo crashed with us earlier on. That's had another incident in this race, so a bit of a strange one there, but lucky enough we all came away unscathed there. And I'm still right on the back of Hulkenberg as we now try to size him up for a move here on the exit of turn number 3. Can we possibly make a move on the German here, going to the inside way before turn number 4? Can we make a move here on the brakes? Yes, we do. Easy overtake up the inside, and that is P8 for us. And so far so good now in this little recovery stint. And on lap 16 now, 3 laps later, we're coming in for our second stop of the race, and we've managed to get our strategy back in sync after that crash, because obviously with the crash with Ricciardo, he was actually pretty much a lap earlier than our stint, so we had to do an extra lap this stint to really drag it out. But there was a car down the end there, and that car is actually Lewis Hamilton, so he's had a bit of a poor stint and he's lost a lot of time because I believe he was in like P5 or something. So Lewis is right there, so if we have a couple of good laps here, we could possibly set ourselves up in contention to try and overtake him and possibly finish ahead of him, which would be absolutely insane. But if you did notice, they actually went onto the medium tyres, and my reasoning is I'm gonna try and do my long stint now, get out of the way, and then push on rich mix whatever I've got left in terms of fuel at the end of the race, and hopefully that will be the best strategy for us. And so far on these mediums, I've got to say the car handled quite nice. As you can see, I set the fastest lap of the race there, and these mediums are really coming into the sweet spot. And 2 laps in a row actually I did set the fastest lap of the race. As you can see, I set another one here, and we've caught up to the back of Valtteri Bottas here. So these mediums are really just hitting the ground running at Interlagos, and they're really working for me, an absolute tree, which is perfect and just literally not what I expected, but it's actually come up trumps for me. And here we go up the inside of Valtteri Bottas now through the right hander, but Bottas is still side by side with us, but we're just going to go around the outside, and this time there's no contact here, not like Daniel Ricciardo, and we make the move around the outside, and Bottas leaves us the room, which is crucial, and we're up in the P5. And a couple laps later we get ourselves up in the P2 because of the pit stops. And meanwhile, here's Sebastian Vettel behind us, and I actually decided to let him through because he was on the softs and he is way faster than me. He literally just pit a couple laps ago and he was catching me a second a sector, so I decided to let him through to not waste any time. And then I knew I was pitting a couple laps later anyway, so here we go. And speaking of my pit stop on lap 28 onto lap 29, we're going to come in for a set of soft tyres, and this will be our final stop of the race, and this is when we're going to really give it the full beans and push 110% on this final stint to try and make some damage. So here we go then. Lewis Hamilton right now is in 3rd place, so Vettel is ahead of him on track. So Lewis has had a bit of a poor race really, with Nico Rosberg in the lead, so there could be a possibility here of us overtaking Lewis Hamilton here for 3rd place, which would be absolutely fantastic. And we're going to give it the full beans, like I said, crank up into rich mix as soon as we exit the pit lane, and it's going to be 7 laps of literally time trial / qualifying laps to really just push to the end and just give it 110% to try and get these points that we need. And as you can see on lap number 4 now, we've got a car on the left hand side there. It's Vettel actually, who's coming for his final pit stop. So a bit of an unexpected one. I didn't think Vettel would pit again because he literally pit on like lap 26 for softs. But Vettel made his stop and he came onto the mediums. So I'm the fastest guy on track right now. And literally 1 lap later, Lewis Hamilton actually pit as well. So that's promoted us up in the P2. So Lewis is coming for a pit stop onto the medium tyres, and that's actually going to cost him a lot of time. And right now we almost have a crash there on lap 45 with Jenson Button and Carlos Sainz, who are going very slowly, and I almost go straight into the back of Button, and we run in really deep at turn number 1, which is going to cost us a bit of time. And right now Vettel is starting to catch us up because our softs are just starting to go off a little bit now, and his mediums are coming right to the sweet spot, just as I proved earlier by setting the fastest lap of the race. The mediums do go really well around here, and here comes Vettel, and he's making a move up the inside of turn number 1 here. I'm going to give him the room, not going to force him off, because even if we finish ahead of Hamilton in this race, that'll be good enough to gain some points on him. So I don't want to crash out. This is the last lap of the race. I'm just going to play it safe, play it sensible, and not cause any sort of crashes here. So we're going to try and we overtake Vettel here up the inside, but it's no use as Vettel is better on the brakes than us, and we're pretty much, I think, going to just seal P3. Lewis is 4 seconds behind us, so we should be okay, even though we have got the 5-second penalty. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can finish ahead of him now as we come across the line now for P number 3, and now it's a question of where is Lewis Hamilton going to finish, because I had the 5-second time penalty and we just got to wait for the full race results. But P3 on paper is pretty decent, and let's see who's on the podium. It's me, so I'm on the podium. So Lewis must have had some sort of altercation in the last lap, because I had a 5-second time penalty, which has actually allowed me to stay on the podium and gain points on Lewis Hamilton. So overall, a really good result there for us, and I think a massive 15 points, I could say. Some really crucial points for the World Drivers' Championship, and Rosberg is absolutely delighted for that win that he's got for the first time in a while. And also Vettel at P2 there, good race from him, but crucially the 15 points for us in the World Drivers' Championship is all we needed, and that is going to be just absolutely perfect for the final race of the season. And looking at the final race results, as you can see, Lewis Hamilton there in P4 lost literally a couple of tenths and not enough to overtake me. He was 7 tenths behind me in terms of crossing the line, including the time penalty. So very unfortunate there for Lewis Hamilton, but this is looking really good for us in the World Drivers' Championship. The only problem is, I've just realised, I think we might not be able to drive any of the good cars in the final race of the season. I'll have a look after this video and do some research, and I'll let you guys know in the next video, in the finale of Abu Dhabi, and you'll see what car I'm driving then. But I think we might not be able to drive any of the top 4 cars. So this could be a potential game changer for the World Championship and the final race of the season at Abu Dhabi, which is considered a power track. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But nevertheless, looking at the driver standings, as you can see, there are no changes at all in terms of the order, except for me extending my lead over Lewis Hamilton from first to second, and then also Nico Rosberg extended his lead over Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen. But those were the standings, guys, and that was the race. Hopefully you did enjoy it. I'm out of breath, so if you did enjoy the video, please do smash the like button, and if you're new around here, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, as I really would appreciate it, as I'm closing in on 3,500 subscribers. And anyway, guys, that's about for this video. I've been Thomas 7HD, and I'll see you in my next one very soon. Goodbye.